Good evening, everybody. What's up? It's Gina Efo, the one and only African superstar, and I'm coming with this topic. This topic is motivated by a video that I just saw. I believe the channel is called Web Nation Africa, and it was a discussion between a diasporan and a continental. And so I'm going to get into it today. Big shout out to the family. When you come in the room, you already know what to do. Make sure you hit the stream. Make sure you show your support. Make sure you get into the chat room. Today, I want to talk about what I absolutely despise about other Black people. Now, obviously, y'all never hear me talk like this. I'm overwhelmingly positive when it comes to my people and things like that. But naturally, there are some things I dislike about some of you guys. And I'm going to get into this topic tonight. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to the customers of theafricansuperstar.com. Thank you guys for shopping with me over 3 good years. Much love to our members only who support the platform on a monthly basis and get behind the scenes vlogs and early access to music videos, etc., etc. And much love, last but not least, all the music supporters, everybody out there streaming, listening, purchasing, supporting the African Superstar family. I love you guys. Thank you. If you have not picked up your EP, please go get the EP. I heard back today from Homegirl Healer and Ajike. They were talking about how they feel in the EP. Ajike talked about Migrate, which is one of my personal favorite songs, and I'll be actually performing it next week at my album release here in London. So big shout outs. We got Dove Fly in the chat room and Noella, I hope I said that correctly, in the chat room. Yeah, I'm going to talk about you folks tonight. Yeah, because you guys don't ever hear me talk like this, but people that are close to me hear me talk about some of the things that are very challenging about our people. So I mentioned I saw a video from a channel called Web Nation Africa. I believe it's called Web Nation Africa. And there was a young man coming from the UK. He's a Caribbean background, and he has now moved to Ghana, and he's brought his family, and he was talking about the journey and how he is so happy in Ghana. And he was having kind of a dialogue with a continental Ghanaian, who many continentals have this perspective of just abandoning their homeland, and they have this idea that, they can go out and make it. It's easier. It'll be quicker. And this is a very destructive mentality. And I want to say personally, as a woman, men that have this perspective are very unattractive. If there's any ladies in the room that agree with me, let me see a number one. Men that have the perspective of eating out of another man's hand, letting another man delegate their life and basically have the ultimate say on how things are going to turn out. It's very unattractive. A lot of men want women that are going to submit to them and all of this kind of thing. In order for a woman to submit to you or to feel comfortable enough to submit to you, you need to be in a leader role. You need to be someone that the woman can look to for security, for protection, for guidance, for leadership, for wisdom. You understand? In my perspective, when I meet a man who can't fathom the way forward in his own life, he's determined that he can't do anything. Okay? Unless somebody gives him something, unless someone provides him an opportunity, he can't come up with anything. It's very unattractive. And I have to say, I have just canceled out so many men when I have that initial conversation with them, and their perspective is they need someone else to carve the path for them. This is a big problem, and it's an element of my people that I absolutely despise. Because instead of us looking for solutions, instead of us analyzing the way forward, figuring out how to make things better for ourselves, do things for ourselves, because guess what? Second trivia question. If you understand the statement, let me see a number 2. Nothing in life is for free. Huh? We got 10 of you guys here. If you understand that statement, nothing in life is for free. That means there's always an associated cost in everything that you do. This is something that our people don't also want to acknowledge. So for the Continental, you think you're going to go abroad and you think you're going to make your wildest dreams happen, and you think you're going to make a lot of money, and you think you're just going to be a part of this system and there's no associated cost. You think that you're just going to ride off into the sun and happily ever after, and you refuse to listen to people that are coming from that environment, that have been in that environment. You just want to disregard everything they have to say to you because you want to believe in this fantasy world. This is something, guys, this is something I despise about our people. You know, it's very counterproductive, in my opinion, to strive for comfort in foreign lands. Okay? Because it's literally like building your house on sand. Okay? You can't create a legacy in these nations. The ground underneath your feet is constantly shaking, constantly shifting. If anything, your ideology should be, let me get my resources and create my utopia back in my homeland. And the irony is, we will watch people come along that are willing to build it up, that are willing to invest, that are willing to sacrifice a bit, and they end up coming out on top in the end, more than those of us that take these trinkets. This is a nasty part of our people. Okay. Sometimes I hear these stories of the slave traders and some of the things that they took, you know, in exchange for human capital. They were into mirrors. They were into, you know, weapons, all kind of little bits and bobs. They took Bibles. They took all these things that depreciate, that don't create residuals, that don't give investments or results. They took all these things in order to give their resources, which were far more precious. And that's what I see going on with our people. And it's so detrimental. We trade everything for a little bit of money. In this video, this young man, all he could talk about was money. All he could talk about was money. That's the top thing in his world. And the thing is about our people, we're easily bought and sold because of our worship of money. We don't put anything above money. We can sell out our own brother, sister, mother, ourselves, our homeland, our culture, our kids for money. You know, hello. Are you guys here? Hello. Let me hear from you in the chat room if you're in the building. Big shout outs. We got Success Tete in the building. We got Noella. We got Dove Fly. What's up, guys? We have like a couple people in the building. Hello. I'm waiting for a new face. Who else is in the chat room? Y'all, you coming to watch me, and I understand. I'm interested. But let's be an active part of the conversation. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. Okay? I'm going to wait. Y'all want to hear me tell a little story? Let me see a number 3. Big shout outs. Thank you. S.A. Smith is also in the building. Thank you, sweetheart. Big shout outs to the family today. Y'all just can't come here and watch me all the time. It's very rude. And I know some of y'all don't have any manners, but I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you. So There is a friend of mine, a friend of a friend of a friend, a person I know, associate. I wouldn't call her a best friend, but she is an associate. Big shout outs to those of you that can participate. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys like the stream. Feel free to support the stream if you feel this message, if you're so inclined. So a friend of mine is in the wig business. Okay, this is back in America. She gets this kind of like Malaysian hairs, and I don't know if she does Brazilian, but I know she gets like the Indian hairs, the Remy's, and all this stuff from Asia, where a lot of that hair that y'all put on your head in the wigs and all that stuff comes from. So my friend was dealing with this supplier, okay, and she decided to go to Malaysia, and she just wanted to deal directly with the hair factory or whatever. She went all the way to Malaysia. She got there, she went to the hair factory. And guess what? The people in Malaysia would not sell to her. They said, you need to go through your supplier, which was the middleman. Okay, because the associate was thinking, okay, I can cut out this middleman. I can go direct to the wholesaler and just get this hair direct and make more profit. You see, that is called integrity. That is called protecting your interests. Now, unfortunately, had she gone to Ghana or Nigeria or Kenya, she would have easily found a factory that would have said, okay, we're going to do this. And guess what? We're even going to do it for under market price. Because our people sell out for money, guys. It's something that is so disgusting to me as a visionary who knows that we have the capabilities to be great. If we just decided to stop selling out, start focusing on solving our problems and implementing the solutions. That is it. That is it. A lot of you people want comfort. That's a reoccurring theme. Comfort, conveniences, the system that works, opportunities. But you won't erect anything. You just want to jump into it when somebody set it up. And that is why you will always be a slave. I can't say me. I'm not like you. Sorry, I'm not. Because I'm willing to find a way, hustle, branch out, do something else. But I'm not a slave, see? That's the difference. Okay? Slave is willing to take a couple morsels every day because they feel that food is consistent. Okay? I know I'm eating this chemically modified food, and I know, but it's steady. I can trust it. Okay. The leader is like, you know what? I eat these damn morsels every day and I'm not even full. I might as well go out there and try to make something happen. Take the risk and benefit more later. But when you get content with them little morsels, guys, or that comfort zone, hello, you don't realize that it's your material things that's keeping you in slavery. That mortgage, that car note, okay? The fact you need a new cell phone every year. Half of you guys, probably even more than half of you guys, are working jobs that you freaking hate. Okay, if you hate your job, just put why, why for yes. If you hate your job, most of the people I know, they hated their jobs or they hate their jobs. The reason they keep their jobs is because they need money to what? Survive, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, pay the car note. They hate their boss. They hate their coworkers. They hate their field. They hate all the time they spend there. They hate the demands of the job. They hate the systematic racism. But guess what? It's all your material things that got you roped in. If you could figure out how to live with less, if you could figure out how to be content with things, you wouldn't need it. Right now you think you need to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month for your living expenses in America. 2, 3,000, 4,000 pounds. You think you gotta have it. Why you need that much money? I got this car. Okay. My car note's expensive. The petrol for the car is expensive. The insurance for the car is expensive. Huh? The place I live, the subdivision, the estate, the suburb that I live in is expensive. I gotta pay for that mortgage. I gotta afford it. Me, I can't wear non-name brand clothes. Every time the Jordans drop, I need it. I gotta show off for these people that don't care or know me or anything. These are things I don't like about my people, guys. I just gotta be honest with you. I don't like the fact my people complain and don't want to solve anything. I don't like the fact that my people don't want to support those of us that are ready to make a change. What's up, Dr. Groves? My girl, Dr. Carnita Grove is here. Thank you so much for showing up and showing some love in the chat room. It's very annoying because a lot of these things, guys, we could address, we could solve, but because, we rather be a slave because of the comfort zone. I can tell you now, diasporians that have, walked away from their comfort zone in the West, their familiarity, their steady incomes, their cars, luxury housing, whatever. I can tell you that even though in many cases we have reduced our material things, okay? We've reduced our material things. We've reduced our spending, our services, some conveniences that, we don't have them in wherever we're living on the continent. We have freedom. And the irony is you can actually learn to live without a lot of those things. You think you can't. But see, that's where the slavery comes in. You see, and you think, oh, having this mortgage is, I'm living the American dream. No, you're indebted for at least 30 years or maybe more in some cases. You're indebted. The fact that you've taken this mortgage is now restricting your movement, okay, controlling your income and dictating your life. And in order for you to afford the mortgage, guess what you need? A job. And guess what it means? It means if you don't like the job, if you don't like your coworkers, if it's stressing you, whatever, your mental well-being is fluctuating because of your mortgage or because of your financial obligations, you're stuck there. And that's all by design. And you guys think it's the American dream, but it's really a ball and chain. It's an anchor. Is it a coincidence that they don't teach us anything about trades? They don't teach us about financial literacy. They don't teach us about entrepreneurship, things that will give us the control in our lives and future. It's not a mystery, guys. And for those of you on the continent, you think that the West is just boasting all these opportunities for you. No, they're siphoning the resources, the intellectual resources from the continent. The foreigners are moving in, setting up enterprise because they realize that the continent is the wave of the future, and it's, all the opportunity is there. The development is available to them. They understand, they know they can't do that stuff in the West. That's why they're coming there. But at the same time, they're handing you visas. From what I understand, the visa process is fast track currently. And continentals don't stop to ask themselves why this is getting so readily available. They don't ask themselves, well, it used to be so difficult to go to America or UK or Canada. And now they're just recruiting. Now they're just, reducing the requirements. And now they're just, honestly, guys, nothing in life is for free. Know that. Okay. Sometimes it's better for you to hustle, struggle, make your own path. You will have the peace of mind than to take something for free. Anybody fish in the room? Shout out to anybody who fishes in the room. Do we have any fishers? Do we have any fishers? Fishermen, fisherwomen. I I don't know a lot about fishing, but I know that there's something called a bait. Okay. And when you go fishing, for those of you that don't know how to fish, you got to take this bait. Sometimes it's, little worms or whatever. Sometimes you go to the fishing shop and you pick up bait. You buy bait. Okay. And you put the bait on the hook. All right. And when you go out to go fishing, you put it down in the water and the fish see the bait. And they say, "Ooh, I'm about to go eat that worm." And guess what? When they come and get the worm, when they open their mouth to get the worm, guess what? The hook gets them. That is what you need to know. That is what actually you should be teaching your kids. It's actually called critical thinking. Okay, it's a way for you to weigh the pros and cons. Okay, first of all, anything from our enemies should be stringently analyzed. Okay, there's nothing like, oh, it happened in the past and that was so long ago. There's nothing like that. Okay, anything from your enemies, your personal enemies, the enemies of our ancestors, our historical enemies, blah, 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 should be highly analyzed because you know that they don't have your best interests in mind. You know that they're good at the bait and switch. You know that they have preyed upon and continue to capitalize on our people. Why you would think that these people will give you an opportunity that's going to benefit you more than it benefits them is beyond reasoning. And we don't actually want to teach our kids critical thinking, which is very detrimental because, again, nothing in life is for free. There's always associated consequences. The time that you want to take advantage of opportunities is when you feel that you are going to benefit more. B, you have analyzed it, you've counted up the cost and everything. Taking these erroneous opportunities without weighing the cost. Also, disregarding people that have been through the process. It's another thing. I just despise it of my people. Any other person will say, this person went ahead of me. So let me get some insight from this person as to what I might encounter. But yet our people will say, oh yeah, I know Dr. Carnita Groves lived in America for 20 years. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Do the Continentals ever ask themselves why these diasporians struggle in the West? They attribute it to the fact that we're lazy and, we just don't, we're not trying hard enough. They don't ever think that there are systematic things put in place to keep us where we are. I mean, honestly. And so I was watching that video and getting so perturbed at the mentality of many, many of our people, and it's just like, you've got to fix your problems, guys, at the end of the day. It's either fix your problems or be indebted to the person who fixes your problems. And understanding that the person who fixes your problems is benefiting more for solving your problem. You see, when another person comes along and solves your problem for you, they're not doing it out the goodness of their heart. There is an associated cost with that. I see these businesses, for instance, in Ghana, just absolutely thriving from foreigners. And I think to myself, why is the diaspora not being the one to provide these things? Doesn't it make more sense to provide the luxuries and comforts in your own backyard than have to go through immigration, pay lots of money for visas or travel, move abroad, deal with different weather, different food, different culture. You know, is all of that easier than looking at your backyard and thinking to yourself, I can do something up in here to address my problem? You see, when I was in America, big shout out to Zoo and Shayna, King Kenyatta. I see you in the building. What's up, guys? If you want to be shouted out, leave me something. Make sure you like the stream. Hello. Make sure you support the platform. Subscribe if not yet subscribed. Okay? Plug. When I was in America, for instance, and I had so many, I still, to this day, have so many grievances about my life in the West and my wasted time, essentially. I am the antithesis of lazy. you know I mean, throughout most of my time in America, I worked 2 jobs. There was a period I had a cleaning franchise. I've done warehouse work. I've worked at night. I've worked in McDonald's. I've worked in care homes. I've done the professional thing. You know what I'm saying? I drove Uber. I'm a make it happen kind of girl. And when I realized, man, I'm spinning my wheels in this situation, okay, this system is set up against me. I realized that after spending so many years in higher education, working for insurance, banking companies, corporate, I thought to myself, I'm not escalating and I don't know why. I'm doing everything I can. When I realized that basically the system was set up against me, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to wiggle my way up out of this situation. Okay. I looked at what I had, where I was, what I could do, how I could solve this from my own means. And this is something that our people don't do. You see, because when we have problems, we're always outsourcing it. God's going to solve it. The government's going to solve it. The white man's going to solve it. I'm going to travel to America. I'm going to do this. And the answer is, it's right here. It's right here. Okay. There's nothing greater than self. The solutions that you need are inside of you, because other people are dealing with their own problems and their own things. And I hope that this message may impact some of you, because I know that the way that you look at the world is, it's a blame game. It's everybody else. Many continentals audit, they don't even have the concept that things can be remedied in their homeland. They literally think it cannot happen, even though they're seeing foreigners come and do it. Nobody's going to fix our problems, guys. They're benefiting from our problems, so they have no incentive to solve our problems. And nothing in life is for free. Know when you start taking things from people, there's a cost for that. You come into Europe, you go into America, there's a cost for it. And a lot of times you as the migrant, because in your perception, you're living better now. Now you have steady income. Now you get a nice car. You've got the mortgage. You think, wow, I've really escalated my life. Your children are going to pay. Your children are going to pay. One of the biggest payments that we receive in the West is psychological damage. The damage from the racism, the damage from being treated subpar and having no recourse, the damage from profiling, the damage from stereotypes, the damage from bullying. This is part of the reason, in my opinion, that the Black diaspora born and raised in Western nations tend to become very dysfunctional. You'll look at them physically and you'll say there's nothing hindering you. You don't have any handcuffs on your hands. You don't have any, you have the system. You can go to school, you can make things happen. But what ends up happening is the mental change, the mental conditioning that begins to happen to our young Black people prohibits them. They literally feel like they can't. And in many cases, when they apply themselves, they are met with so much friction and obstacles. you know I encountered that in the corporate world. I know a lot of you guys have encountered that professionally. You go for promotions, you get passed up, you try to apply for your dream job or professional jobs. You don't get equal pay as your non-Black counterparts. All these things is psychological damage, and that is what the diaspora has. That's the cost. When you raise your kids in these foreign nations, that's the cost. Psychological damage. And you wonder why you see, a lot of violence from, for instance, the American diaspora. You see a lot of drinking. You see a lot of dysfunction. You see tattoos all over. The people are traumatized. And not all the trauma is coming from the history. The trauma is coming from modern day. The trauma is coming from right now. Big shout outs to the African superstar family. Well, honey, because this is my second platform, because YouTube took my channel down in 2021 after we got to 11,000 subscribers. So we back on the rise, honey. But don't worry, just go ahead and do your part. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, support our platform here. Big shout outs to the African superstar family. Well, TT, you know what you're going to have to do. Yeah, I'm talking about some of the things I despise about our people, why so many of our people are going to be slaves, and how it impacts those of us that are not slaves. Because we're ready to bust a move, and we're ready to make something happen, and we're ready to do for self, and we're ready to be unapologetic. But so many more of you guys, are not about that life. And you'll keep selling out. You'll keep taking the morsels. You'll keep bowing down. You'll keep taking the abuse because you don't want to solve your problems. You want to wait for somebody else to do it. And you think because it's your one corner, you think that it's worth it. Well, if I just keep quiet, if I don't cause any trouble, trust me. And excuse what I'm about to say, okay? If you are a bitch, it's going to go through your family lines. Other people are going to suffer because you don't want to do the necessary. Other people are going to suffer because you sell out, because you take the easy fix. Many of the diaspora feel like, if our parents would have made different decisions, if this Back to Africa movement started back in the 60s, we would already be set up. We'd already be established. We wouldn't have to be trailblazing. We already have foundation to springboard or generational wealth or whatever, right? That's how it is when you're a bitch. Your future generations are going to look back at you and be like, damn, look at what grandma and grandpa did. They could have been setting us up. They could have made life better for us. Why did they kiss the ass? Huh? Because your kids might not be like you. Your grandkids might not be like you. They might not be slaves, see? They might be like, yo, why didn't you rebel against this situation? Why did you keep taking scraps? We could have had the whole damn thing. Some people in Africa, it's unbelievable. To migrate to the West, it's very expensive. If you're going from Nigeria, you're going from Ghana, you have to raise a lot of currency to do that because of the way the currency exchange works. People actually sell land. Check this out, guys. They sell their family land to come and rent an apartment in the UK or America or Europe or wherever they go. They sell land that they could have lived on rent-free no property taxes to then go and pay. That's how crazy it is. Some people liquidate businesses, shut down businesses to go and work in jobs. And this is what I just despise. And I went to school in America, born and raised. I went to a private school. And I learned side by side what many of my diasporian counterparts learned, but there was always a part of me that was like, I'm not bowing down to these people. And I was always a bit rebellious, not rebellious in terms of like breaking the law and, legal stuff, but I was rebellious in the fact that I'm not conforming wholly to what you say and your expectations of who I should be. I was always a bit rebellious to that because I'm like, who do you think you are? But that fire is missing from a lot of you guys. And it's very disgusting. And again, let me say, men, it's very, very disgusting when you don't want to be the leaders of your community. Let me talk to the men. It's very disgusting when you don't want to be the leaders of your community, when you don't want to carve out your own path, when you don't want to provide for your family. I know not everybody's an entrepreneur, but at the end of the day, buying and selling, thank you so much, Noella, for that support. Buying and selling is the way forward. Okay? It's like the fundamentals of all business. You mean to tell me, and some of you guys here on the continent, or I'm in England right now, but you see, look, I'm back home in my mind. Some of you guys have farmlands from your family. You have family homes that were built for you. You have, businesses, shops. You have things that diasporians don't even have to utilize. At bare minimum, if you're in Ghana and you have a car, you can be doing Bolt and Uber. Things at your disposal that can become assets to you. You've got to, as my old pastor back in the day when I went to church, big shout out to Lady Visionary in the building. Thank you so much, from Rwanda. My pastor had this old saying, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. I also was not groomed to be an entrepreneur, but my zest for finding out how to survive on the continent is what cultivated it. Because I realized that, okay, if I rely on the source of income that I currently had at that period, which is a job, I'm never going to get free, and I'm never going to be able to move to the, continent, and I'm never going to be able to, survive out there. I'm going to have to do something else. Coming here on YouTube, for instance, talking to you people when I know you don't listen. Hello, it's not like my dream in life. I actually like people that listen. I actually like people that do something about their circumstances. Coming here over and over and over again and talking to you people when I know that you don't listen and you don't do anything is frustrating for me. However, it's one of the avenues that I can utilize to support myself and live on the continent. I built a website. I designed clothes. I never did any of those things beforehand. I was looking for ways. How can I create services? How can I create income? I'm now doing music. All of these things coming out of my desire of figuring out how to survive. Some of you are grown men and women and you have skills. You can do hair, you can fix cars, you babysit, you can translate, you can do so many things. And you don't want to utilize those things to serve yourself. You see, when more of us decide to create opportunities in Africa, and it's not easy, I understand that. But when more of us create opportunities, that also enables people on the continent to live and survive there. Because since our people are so, what's the word? Obsessed with jobs. And I mean, obviously, yes, you need income to, you need food, you need shelter, you need, and you want things too. You want, clothes, you want to look good, you want to get your hair done, you want to do these kind of things. I know money is a necessary evil. But if, those things are available, like for instance, my homegirl, Lady Visionary down in Rwanda, she started a hotel. She's in the process of working on a library. She does a lot of projects down there. She's got a farm. You see, she's literally providing opportunities for people to change their lives where they are. Pretty sure probably some of her employees before she came along, and they may have been struggling to find work, whatever. It may be in their mind, they were thinking, man, maybe I should go abroad. Maybe I should travel. But now they have decent income, stable incomes right where they live, so they can have a good quality of life right there. You see, we don't think about solving these problems. Since our people are desperate to work, start a business, start something that they can do so that they can work right then and there where they are. But you've got to solve the problems. You cannot get around it unless you want to be a slave. If you don't mind being a slave, you don't mind having someone on, your neck, designing your whole path, saying how far you can go, then carry on. Big shout out to TT. Says skills over degrees is facts. Facts. People that know trades are never jobless. I never ever met a hairdresser that's unemployed. I've never met a nail tech that's unemployed. I've never met a mechanic. Have you ever heard a mechanic say, oh my gosh, there's a shortage of cars for me to fix? Plumber. Carpenter. Never. Electrician. Meanwhile, plenty of us with degrees, plenty of us with corporate careers. Oh my gosh, my job outsourced my, they're downsizing, they merged, they're laying off, they're furloughing. Honestly, guys, we have been fed a lot of BS. And if you are someone who's planning on coming to the continent and you're still based in the West, do a trade. I'm telling you, trade schools, year, 2 years, you're going to get a trade. That thing could potentially be your bread and butter. If you're traveling back and forth to the continent and you see a need, these are developing nations, a lot of them developing nations. They need everything. They need roads. They need infrastructure. They need electricians. They need plumbers. They need solar. Even if you were to just get the equipment, I remember somebody talking about that being a viable business opportunity. Ship over a couple cranes. I know those machines are expensive, but ship over building related, machinery. Ship over a dump truck or a cement truck or whatever. Rent it out. Start a tool rental company. You know what I'm saying? Employ your own drivers. Make sure your cement truck is handled properly. Rent it out for the day. Bam. Bam. You don't even got to be all entrepreneurial to do that. I'm just saying, guys, start solving your own problems. Stop being a punk. Stop making it bad for all of us. Because not all of us want to bow down and kiss their ass. We don't want to. I can't. I absolutely can't. Okay. But some of us, we want to make our own way. And for those of you that can't figure out what to do, just support those of us that are already doing it. Pour into us that we can provide more opportunities. Pour into us that we're able to expand to provide more. If you can't do something, go ahead and pay it forward for the next person going forward, because we're not communal, we're too individual. And this is why we're not, we got to be real about where we are and how we're not thriving. We're not doing a great job, guys, because we don't want to work together. We don't want to support each other. We don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to solve our problems. We don't want to build. All we want to do is complain. Complain, critique, analyze the people that are ready to do something. So I want to thank all of you for listening to my rant tonight. Big shout out to Noella Dixon, a one and only super chat tonight. I appreciate you guys. Again, yes, please make sure you cop the EP. I need to post up the voting results. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I forgot to do it today. Yes, but we're still in it for South Africa. We're still number one. We still need your votes. We still need your support on the GoFundMe. Those of you here in the UK, my shows start next week. So if you are in the London area, please come out to my album release party. It's the 8th of July, Saturday, and it's going to take place at Connie's, and that is at 8587 Woodgrange Road, and that is E70EP. So for my London-based viewers, hello, African Superstar-based viewers, fans here in the UK, come out and support your girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually trying to recruit new fans. Hello. I'm actually trying to recruit new fans because it's tough with the existing fans. I don't know. But you guys are welcome to come out and see me. I'm going to give a great show. I'm going to do about 5 songs from my new EP, which has 8 songs total. And I'm going to do, obviously, the hits. Ghana's Good For Me, One and Only, Come Chill With Me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do your classics, your faves. Ghana Roll Call. You know what I'm saying? So come out and see me live here in Ghana. I mean, here in... Can y'all tell where I'm at? Lord have mercy. Come see me live in London. London. Yes. So a big shout out to the African Superstar family. If you're coming to my channel and you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. We would love to have you here. As Shiro said, what's up? I can't believe you don't have that many subscribers. Well, once upon a time we did. We are coming back gradually, but that's how I would love to have it. I'm into organic. So that we have a good platform. I don't want a lot of nonsense on my platform. So we grow it gradually. So as far as my EP, it dropped on June 26th, which is my 40th birthday, and I want to share with you the first single from that EP. It's called Beach Chill. One and only, I'm back again. African Superstar on the track. It's the weekend, and ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you, and you here with me. Yeah. Got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's the weekend. That's my jam. And I will be performing Beach Chill live. That is the first single from my brand new EP, STAR. You can stream Beach Chill on all the streaming sites as well as the title track, STAR. But to get the whole EP, you need to go to bandcamp.com, BANDCAMP. There are 6 other tracks that are not on the streaming sites. So if you want to actually hear the entire project and purchase the entire project to support independent artists like me, yes, you can go over to bandcamp.com, BANDCAMP.com, and that is a website for independent artists so that we can sell our music and have control over our music, because streaming does not really generate a lot of money for the independent artist. So that is that. Yes. So a big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have a good turnout today. Make sure you have liked the stream. Just take a minute out and like the stream if you haven't liked the stream. I know a lot of you guys are spectating, but the least you can do is like the stream. Okay. And I hope you guys are doing very well. Thank you so much for all the continued support on the platform. We're just really, it's been an amazing year for our family so far. We've collected one award back in May. We're currently nominated for awards in South Africa and Paris. So it's my intention to collect those awards. The voting for South Africa is over on the 15th of July. So we have, like less than 2 weeks now to win that vote. And we definitely want to do that. And I'll be off to South Africa, continuing my world tour in August. And, we making moves. We try and take this to the world. You feel me? All right, family. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.